It's day 1564 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored by Rabbi Yonason Ezra ben Chana Feigl for his Chus Vatzoch and his new sales job. He shared tremendous Tiyata Dishmaya B'char Sheif Nei Yetzliach. Today we are doing you're there, Simon Shin Yud, the Sif Aleph, the Simon Shin Yud Beis, Sif Dalet. Shin Yud, but Hashore Bor Shalapi Mumche Yichaver. Somebody who slaughters a Bechor without an expert's license should be buried. Bechor had a permanent mum, which was obvious. Before his show to Chacham al Shloshim Knesset or to 3 members of the Knesset. After the Chacham was shown to Chacham Chakaros a mum, and then he saw the mum. I mean, I showed it to the Chacham after you shechted it, and he saw the mum. It was a valid mum. Anymore, it's not effective. But also by no, it's also by no v'ton kura, and you must bury the basar ma'ara, the flesh and the hide. Ben chiluk ben she'asa Mazer show makes a difference if the person who had it slaughtered did it deliberately or inadvertently. Ben sheshak to buy him, whether slaughtered by the owner or the kohen or the acher or a third party. Before the Chacham took look, or 3 members of the Knesset. Asur Chacham Bano Chacham forbade Bano. But Tam, the reason for the decree is Mishum Sheish Mum Mishtani Machamisa. It's the movement changed after the death. Ashneim Kamum. They look like a mum. Chaim ain't a mum be'emes, and when it was live, it's not. It doesn't look like a mum. Chaim goes to call mum, and that's why he made the decree on all mumim. That's why Meir and Bechor Stav Kov Ches. But Avshat Tais Sham Paskar and Behuda. Tos to Paskar and Behuda. V'chein Das Rash Chofni Batur. It's Tur Mikom Bahag. V'Rambam V'Ramban V'Arosh V'Tur B'Shonra Paskar and Meir the Paskar Meir Chen Kosav V'Shildas Parashas Bo V'Tema Tur Shekas Mishmol Hefach and Shamistan Shetur writes the opposite. Base. Every time you without the say so of an expert or machlo and sells it and receives money, I feel even if the buyer already ate it. The seller has to return him the money. You know, it's a rabbinic prohibition because we said it had a real mum. And this rabbana, it's because we saw him a long time ago that once the purchaser eats it, he doesn't have to. The purchase price need not be returned. Here we have to, even though he ate it, it has to be returned. Sounds like someone's minting as a sentence. Anyway, for Orto and Kvura, the hide has to be buried. Only if they made shoes from that leather, or the acher, or another thing, so you got to bury them. And also they haven't eaten meat yet. The meat has to be buried. Shame you have to give back to you can give back to the owner that they should bury it. They do have a mitzvah. They have the mitzvah, interesting mitzvah to bury it. Im Kain who choshu shimkar opam achashik brenu opam acharshik berenu. Unless he suspects he's going to sell it again after he buries it. Violence shall bechor a kohen. The owner of a bechor is a kohen. A kohen who pashed who the machar b'meiz. If it's clear that if he sells it deliberately, ain't lachzilo. You should not give it back to him. The violence opam is going to sell it again. Like he did at the beginning with. The can should be bishul tzirim hafshin. And the can you cook the meat in, even though they should be kosher. The Rabban regards that they need to be kosher. When lock, stock, and barrel in this. Gimel Misha Enim, obviously the Yitzhar is very great. They were very machmir in it. Gimel Misha Enim Muchasam is not extra for us a Bechor, and he looked at the Bechor, B'yitir, L'shachto, and he pronounced it permitted to Shech, L'nefsh, Nish Rabin was Shech on his say-so. He cover, it's got to be buried, Shalom Besson, he's got to pay from his own house to reimburse. Kam Shalom, how much he pays it, Sham reveal, a doctor pays a quarter of the value of a sheep, on half value of a cow. Because it's money which is in doubt. Shema law of a mum gomer, perhaps it's not a absolute mum. Law of another mum. On the other hand, maybe you never got a mum. But still close, it doesn't cost at all. Or Shema a mum gomer. maybe it was an absolute mum. He still clearly caused a complete loss. Oh, no, I read that wrong. Shem Alav, mum gomer, maybe really wasn't a mum. Long land of a mum, and really no mum would ever occurred, and Lev still didn't cause a loss at all. Shem mum gomer, maybe it was the absolute mum. He see up Kule caused a complete loss. Chem Shal Mechzer pays a half, never pays half. Lamishin the mum Ramuta Bechol Sabi Chol because of money which is in doubt. You divide up. Kakti to go Chol, that's the takana. With the daka mechta migasa by a sheep. Half of the price of a cow. Fish ain't megalim bein medaka by Yitzchak is not supposed to raise a sheep in Eretz Yisrael. Plus, it's but it costs a lot of money to deal with it. You save the coin from great toil. For that mechza megasa, so it's enough to pay half of the value of a calf. If the coin is a chutz, it's gam bedaka so sham chetzi. Since the chutz you can raise a sheep. Therefore, you have to pay half the value. Today in Eretz Yisrael, most of the fields are not Jewishly owned. Time the Arukh HaShulchan. You're allowed to raise sheep. Time the Arukh HaShulchan. Therefore, in Eretz Yisrael, they also pay half the value. The bracket says here, Lashon Rama Peragim Halachbam Name Malo Yisham called them off. Why is they pay the full value? They should because they find the like It's not supposed to raise a sheep in Eretz Yisrael. If they move on Begaso Lama Yisham called them off. It's not clear why a calf or a cow, why it should not pay the entire value. Why did the Ram not bring down a reason for a cow? It's not clear, but evidently, as far as like you said before, who knows who would have got a mum or not gotten a mum. Those who say the Yachin Mumche, an expert, Shara B'chor Shlo, who looks at his own B'chor, even though it's later on going to see, a person should not look at his own mum. His own Bechor's mum because of suspicion. And some Diavad, if he was macho, we don't answer it. That's the Pesach name of Bris Avram. Vein Varim Shema Bekach. This is meaningless. No experts today. If one person was matir, it's nothing today. If it was based on 3, he was on 3. That's obviously permitted. And maybe even one deliberately initially become one of the 3. He's probably shall be clarified there. Nearly, Chacham looks at the mum in the hands of a coin. Absolutely, if he had 9, 8, even though he hasn't yet with witnesses. Shenava me'atzmo that the mum happened on its own. And the Shaykh Torah, that's not an impediment to be matir. Variety mebeitz Chav Zayin, evidence from Chav Zayin, Ayin Sham. Without looking at that, I can't tell you exactly what it says there. Shinir Aleph, HaChashul B'chor, Madino, somebody who's suspect on B'chor, what is his status? Avnan B'choros, it says first Av Chav Tes, HaChosh B'chor, somebody who's suspect on B'chor. Peirush Rash, when Rash means Chosh Latil Mum B'chor, he's suspect to introduce blemishes into a B'chor. Rambam Shuchosh Limkor B'chor L'Shem Chulin. He's suspect to sell a Bechor as if it's chulin. You can't even buy from him deer meat because it's red and it's like looks like calf meat. You can't buy from him hides even though they're not tanned. Even though he looks like it's clear that the hide is from a female. Afraid maybe it's going to cut out of the hide the place where the male organ was. It's going to look like a female. Oh, no, or I thought it was even worse if it's still tan. No, it's better if it's tan. If it's already tan, if it's already worked, no can make a buy for it. The Kem Sheish B'Zeh Torah Meruba, since there's a lot of effort involved, Yodea, he knows Shim Yishmal the Basin if he Yishamal Basin become known the Basin that he's being treacherous. You have seen Kulo that he's going to lose everything. She Ikavru or they're going to bury the hide. Therefore was belonged to Bechor. He would not go to the trouble of working it and putting himself in that type of jeopardy. Flor was did not see it necessary to find him Isser. Because of the Isser, it's enough to find the case where it's actually known to be Isser, not the kind of case where it's most likely to be Heter. Okay, we don't also can't buy him wool. But in this case, even if you bleach the wool, she yesh the successor, which has a little bit of effort. Come, she talk about that. There, possibly he would go to the effort. They also have even in case of doubt. The Shem leave on the basin, so he take the risk. They're not going to become on the basin because it's not as much difficulty. But you can deprive him dyed wool and felt. Same reason came to a tircha gedoyla, since there's a tremendous effort involved. Would have been a bechor loya torach tircha rabba kazu. He would not have gone to such an extent of difficulty. Mitam shizbar din aleph, as we just explained in halacha aleph. Shinya base dina notas chaliros b'chorim yesh bo mum. Somebody who takes money to see to check out the bechor if it has a valid mum or not. Aleph time b'chorim notas chaliros somebody who takes a fee in order to check a bechor. Ain't shochtim api. You can't rely on him to check. Unless he was an expert Ila b'yavne, like Ila and Yavne, sheitiru lo lios noto arba isos l'dako. They allowed to take 4 isor for a sheep, but shish l'gatz and 6 for a calf. Perish Rashi says the kach ain't shochtim api. Why can shechtim his basis? The deal mishum aschar yatir amun shena kavod. Perhaps because the fee is going to be matter, even though it's not an actual permanent mum. And Ila was an expert chassid and he was pious. Blood Shabbat was not suspect for this. Determine how much his fee should be. Also only gets it once. Whether he finds an absolute mum, or he doesn't find a mum, but also and also. In afterwards, they bring this bechor even several times until he permits it. So he can't take more. So the more there in Taisus Daf Chav Tes. Chenkus Abraham Perkima Tzur Shulchan Aruch. But Ram Yitzich Oche Mumcha She'en Kmo. So Ram also regarded that he be the superlative Mumcha. Chenkus nobody is expert in same. Chenkus Shulchan Aruch. Fatula Kasav Loshen Zed towards is not right that I in Sham. Base where Tomanu Oleo Simon Yud Chesib to base part of they we've not learned. They have material Nechsholi So Kosher Shachal Dover Itzu Shul Revach Moment. Where we find that we suspect a kosher Jew that is going to give somebody to eat forbidden food on account of making money. We only find this by a Jew who's suspect. Not one who is kosher. Perhaps where there's concern of kares, they're more concerned. The bechor below mum, the bechor without a mum, having kachim mechutzes like kachim outside beis hamikdash, chayav kares. Chayav kares for shechting it and for eating anything as well. Also because the bechor has an assumption of prohibition. And he wants with his speech, the statement that it's mutter to release it from that assumption of prohibition. Also about the bechor, it's a psak. I shouldn't say raw. Evidently it's a monetary psak, which is similar to choshen mishpat. But also the kabel hara mama bahara raw. Did not allow us to take money for a psak. Interesting, raw. They're only allowed to take you money for the amount of time you spent doing this, or you could spend doing something else and making money. Since it's not according to the prohibited according to strictly of law, since you really shouldn't be taking the money, that's why they're concerned. The long brackets here, and I mean, longish. Somebody takes schar to judge, his judgments are null and void. Just like I judge you for free, so you should judge free. Sounds like it's not issued by bechor. In other words, it's only real choshen mishpat issues where they be also take money to paskin, not by your day issues. But he says, no, that's not what he says. He says, perhaps it's not because it's a your day issue, but because it's not hara, it's not a real psak. That the mum golil akol. Ain't say hara, comma. That the mum golil akol, everybody can see it. El Shabbat mum, and he happens to know this is the right kind of mum. Ain't say the about is just knowledge. It seems that way. The Ramban look at self. You know, the Chaznish is the one who says that only shochet is a chayk, and only applies to choshen mishpat, not the yordei or a chaim. You're allowed to take money to paskin on a chicken, but the Arukh HaShulchan seems not to hold that way. The Arukh HaShulchan seems to hold that any horoi now to take money for. You only don't like to take schar batola. That's why it has a difficulty here. By B'choros, according to Chazon Ish, I don't think it actually be a difficulty. And I'm not sure. And when I taught just learned over the sif, so I said that because it's someone's choshen mishpat, but that's evidently not the case. I think that Arukh HaShulchan argues on the Chazon Ish and holds that if you're there, you also not to take money to paskin, and therefore he has difficulty why here it should work. And he says the only way it might work is because it's not really hurrah, because everybody can see the moon. It's obvious. Just you need somebody who has the idea to know this is a taka moon. Okay, it's a lot to be a lot one can dwell on here. Kimmel Barav Shalom, I don't say much because same obviously if you have that's a ramish, Oislik knows Boss Shalom Mumche, who forbids buying money from somebody's not buying meat, not from a mumche. That's when a person shechts for himself and sells the meat. Kashin Shem Taivas moment, or afraid maybe as a result of his love of money, Yakal Asamato is going to be lenient for himself by mistake. Ein Shom. Okay, now McCain who hears the same thing. Nation Bumei B'chor Yesh B'Kiyus Harbei. But since the Mumei B'chor, there's a lot of knowledge one has to have. Come in which many people don't understand. What's and what's not. That was the issue why Rav was not giving Yata because other people might not understand. If it's possible to make a mistake himself, they have a small money because of the desire of money. If you match mum, and it's going to think it's a mum, it's not a mum. So that's why we really would answer it. If not for the case that we would answer it, if not for the fact that it was an obvious thing. But that's the case today where we only amount to obvious movement. So then, there's no concern. So today, anybody will be allowed to take money, and not just Elah was the expert. Okay, without vote any emails, it says that Tabas Manazeh, are they in age to Ein Matirin, Rakabi Shlosh Me'agnesu, you only remat, no, Yachmuk is not Mati, only 3 people. Like Lal Chash is no concern of suspicion, I mean, it's so very basic Yovamas. Yanni was down and Lamalay skills that place when post conventions. They ain't for the matter of mom and gams lost a chashide. Can't say that 3 people are chashid if they take money. Taste so back the kid moved the guy mama look at shit lost. You take money, people are not suspect. I can trump. Talking about ain't cost to rock the Cardina, the Yaki Mumke Yakalatir. They have to say that they only wrote this according to the strict letter of the law that a Yachid Mumke could be matir. I guess that you can't take money, or Yachid Mumche can't take money. Because the Dami Treta made like a chashta. Somebody else, therefore, the 2 reasons why it would not be a problem. Chada, mitam Rabbi Shlosh, first because they're 3. Well, because they only do obvious moon, nevertheless, we have to have, it's unclear why they did not mention this logic in this discussion at all. Okay, now he's going to go on and discuss at greater length, but that's it for today. We'll have to pick it up Mir Hashem tomorrow.